viewers, welcome back to the channel European Hand. Today we are taking you on a tour of a country known as Belize. Its blue skies, crystal clear waters, and white sandy beaches make this place incredibly beautiful. The lush greenery here can brighten anyone's day. It's a land of animals where there are more creatures than people. In fact, 90% of the land is covered in trees and plants, and it's home to some of the most dangerous snakes in the world. In this country, criminals from England used to send place known as Blackwater as a punishment. It's a place where the water in the lakes is pink. Yes, folks, we are talking about Australia. So, what are waiting for? Buckle up, seatbelts, and let's set off an amazing journey to Australia. First off, the official name of Australia is the Commonwealth of Australia, and its total population is around 25.7 million. You will be shocked when you hear about the population density here because in Australia there are only 3 people per square kilometer, and most of the population lives in the city of Melbourne. This report shows that population is mostly stuck in rural areas. The average age is country is 37, which is not great but is not too young either. A lot of people think Melbourne is the capital of Australia, but actually it's Canberra. Do you know why Canberra was chosen as the capital city instead of one of the bigger cities? You will have a good laugh when you find out that Sydney and Melbourne started arguing over which one should be the capital. So they decided not to make either of them the capital. And by the way, Australia is also joking called the blend of BTS because of if you try to explore even an inch of this country in a day, you will be overwhelmed. You will just watching all the videos about it and realize just how many beaches there are. Just so you know, the beaches here are so massive that you will be amazed when you see this place. It's most beautiful beach in the world. When it comes to water sports, Australia is the best spot out there. There are tons of exciting activities to choose from. Shopping is super popular here, even though it can sometimes be bit risky for people, but still everyone loves it. Just so you know, over 200 different languages are spoken in Australia, including 19 indigenous languages. It's melting pot of cultures. People have come from different countries, so a lot of different languages are spoken here. Did you know that after their own country, the people from India are most commonly seen in Australia? In Melbourne, 60% of total population are trees. It's really sad that people in Australia are not that interested in education compared to other countries. The smoking rates here are really low. Only 4% of people smoke, which is pretty minimal. Australia is one of those countries where women are given a lot of respect. Just so you know, it's the second country in the world for that. About 180 years ago, women got the right to vote in this country back in 1922. But let me tell you, there are more animals than people here. Believe it or not, Australia has about 25 million people, while there are around 150 million animals, which means there are 6 animals for every person. It might freak you out to know that this country has the most relaxed animals in the world. And did you know that Australia gets way more snow compared to Switzerland? For this and Australian Alps are mountains area where there are more snowfall than in Switzerland. Melbourne is one of the Australia's most beautiful cities, often called City of Five because you will find women everywhere. You can profit from everything here, from the roads to townships. Everything is top notch. Plus, this city has won the title of the most livable city for 3 consecutive years. Australia is also a major player in wine production, with its wine being exported all over the world. This country has 6-digit leadership. Australia produces 35 trillion pork products per year. It it's home to country most famous prank and beer. Did you know that Australia former Prime Minister set a world record by drinking beer in just 1.18 seconds? Australia is also major meat exporter and most camels exported to Saudi Arabia come from here. Plus Australia exports a lot of fat to South American countries. There are some countries in the world where every person is really into sport. Australia has really strong sport culture. You will see almost every kid has playing football, cricket or some other sport. That's why this country is often called the sport capital. About 7,000 people involved in some kind of sport every week. On Saturday and Sunday, folk are out there playing competitive sport. If you love gambling and want to try your luck at becoming millionaire, Australia is your dream destination. This is where the most can be won and about 80% of Australians are always in the action. 20% of old poker machine have made into a meeting friends in Australia. There is an article or rather a piece that's pink in color. It's called Yell. So far, no one really knows why it's pink, but whatever the reason is definitely benefiting a lot of people because folks are coming from far and wide to check it out. There are also in Iceland in Australia where instead of people you find kangaroos. It's called Christmas Iceland and during November a lot of them show up there. There are millions and millions of them and the scenery has completely changes when you use the road from the city to go this area. Traffic gets stopped. Just imagine how it must look when so many of them come out at once. The good news is that there is special path and routes being planned for these attracts. And here's something fun for you. You will be surprised to know that Brisbane, Australia, there is a competition to see who can handle the world champion of cockroaches. In race, people place bet and one who choose cockroaches win become a champion. Champion is really into this. Australia has national school for it and the local are crazy about betting. Now let's show you some places visit in the country along with that expect and how much money we will need to spend. Stay with us. In Australia, Sydney is the biggest and the most popular city and it has a ton of interesting spots. The most famous is in the Sydney is Opera House, which is must see. John Gurjaran designed this place and it has been the shooting location for several Bollywood films, including Dil Chahta Hai. Tourists are allowed to go backstage and check out both backstage and the front area. Plus, in Sydney, every first window has highlighted at a Darling Harbour and the Marine Aquarium Channel must see, along with various other tourist spots. Next up, we have kangaroos are native to Australia and symbolize the country because they are always move forward and never backward. What's the national language? If you want to write about kangaroos, let's talk about kangaroos. Beside us, if you have got a friends, they can join too. The view here is absolutely amazing. Next up, this Great Barrier Reef, the beauty of reef and its clear water and everyone in awe. Generally, millions of people visit the place and enjoy driving around it all year long, but the best time to go in considered to be November to June as the weather is clear during this period, giving you a great views in the water at the Great Barrier Reef. It's especially known for its drivers and is often called paradise for tires. The water is super clear and has very little salt, so you can see right through it. If you want to instead of typing, you can enjoy the sights here too. Next, let's talk about how Tasmania is one of the best gateways from the hustle and bustle of life in Moria City. With its natural beauty, the history and culture here are really rich, from the stunning victories to mountains and everything between. Tasmania is the great place to check out wildlife. This place is favorite for enthusiasts packed with historical spots from when Tasmania was biggest penal colony for British convicts. If you are looking to explore, make sure check out the nearby areas. The International Park in Australia has been declared a World Heritage Site and stretches 10 kilometers south from the beach and 9 kilometers east to west. Inside the park, you will find 3,150 species of birds, 8 stunning waterfalls and rivers, along with mangrove ecosystem teeming with wildlife. A Fantastic Falls feels like a beautiful poem rich with local wildlife and salt water, crocodiles and dengue carrying creatures, as well as vibrant array plants. This is the former home of Nobel Prize winner, about 500 yards from the next Treasure Island, which is the largest sand island in India and major tourist attracts. It's known for thrilling four-wheel adventures. That's super exciting. Friends, March is one of the best time to visit Australia with lovely weather during this season. Next up is the garden and garden building. Australia World Heritage Site and beautiful attractions. Something Behold and Cotton Garden, built in 19th century, is one of the oldest places in Australia. We can confidently say it's a must visit on your travel list. Now let's talk about the visa process and how much money you will need to spend your trip to Australia. If you have records in order, you can get visa within 20 days and then you are all set to explore Australia. It will cost around 1 lakh 42,000 rupees.